Hi everybody, this is Sandhya Radhakrishnan from Flying Colors. So last class I was teaching you about relative pronouns, who, whom and whose. Today I am going to teach you the forms of relative pronouns, which and that, which versus that. So many people don't know where to use the relative pronoun which in the mid of the conversation or mid of the sentences. And even that they don't know for what they should use that. Let me explain you this clearly. That is used to denote persons, places, things as well as animals. Which is used to denote only things, places and animals, not persons. So these are the differences. And in which is a relative pronoun, it can be denoted by commas, and when compared to that, that cannot be denoted with commas, no punctuations for that, but we can use punctuations for which. And another important point is which is a non-essential clause in the sentence which will come in the mid of the conversations, and that is an essential clause in the sentence. So without that essential clause, we can't communicate the sentences. So let us see some more examples in which and that. The toy which I purchased from yesterday is missing from my cupboard. Here the toy is a noun as well as subject. Which is the relative pronoun? So, which can be denoted by commas. So, I am putting commas for this. I purchased from yesterday. Again, I am splitting the sentence and putting the comma is missing from my cupboard. So, without this non-essential clause, you can complete the sentence. So, let me read it without that. The toy is missing from my cupboard. So what is a non-essential clause in this sentence? The toy which I purchased from yesterday. This is not, this is an extra information given to the sentence. Without this also the sentence will get completed. So in this way we can use the relative pronoun which. Let me explain you again. Which is a non-essential clause, and it provides an extra information. It can be denoted by the punctuation marks, comma, and without that non-essential clause, the sentence can be completed. It gives an extra information. When compared to that, the dog that is chasing the squirrel belongs to Ramesh. Here, the dog is a noun as well as the subject. Here, that, as I told you earlier, that is an essential clause which gives important information about the subject to identify the subject. So that is always identifies the subject. Here, that is chasing the squirrel. Who's chasing the squirrel? The subject, dog. So the dog, the particular dog. We are not talking about all the dogs in and around the country. We are talking about only the particular dog that is chasing the squirrel belongs to Mr. Ramesh. So that can be that as a relative pronoun. That is a relative pronoun in this sentence. So coming to the next sentence, I bought a pen which you have. I is the subject as well as noun. Bought a pen. So, with which you have, this is a non-essential clause sentence. Here, I is the subject. So, without this non-essential clause, I can complete this sentence. I bought a pen. So, here which is a relative pronoun as well as a non-essential clause. And it can be parted with commas because it's an extra sentence. It's as non-essential and it's a clause in the sentence. Then coming to this, the car that John bought last week runs in gas. Here Car is the noun as well as subject. The particular car, the particular car John bought last week runs in gas. So it runs in gas. We are talking about the particular car he bought in the last week that runs in gas. So here that is a relative pronoun. You can underline that. So John, here specifically John bought this car last week. So you can say this as an essential clause because it specifies a particular car that was bought by John in the last week. So in this case we can write that as it is an essential information provided to the subject. So coming to which again, the book which you took from me is not mine. Again, the book is the subject as well as noun, which is the relative pronoun, and which you took from me is a non-essential clause. We can part this with commas, which is not mine. So let me tell you again, without this non-essential clause, the book is not mine. So without this non-essential clause, the sentence is getting completed. This which provides an extra information about the sentence which is not needed for the subject, the book. Coming to next sentence, Liza wore the shoes that she bought in Italy. So here, what is the subject? Shoes is the subject as well as noun. Subject as well as noun. So always I said relative pronoun will come in the preceding noun. So instead of that, shoes, instead of the shoes, that has come. That is a relative pronoun in this sentence, and it tells about the essential information about Liza. So Liza wore the shoes. She may be having many shoes, but she wore the particular shoes that she bought in Italy. Those shoes are specifically bought in Italy. So in that particular case, you can write that. The fog, which was quite dense, made it hard to drive. When the place is surrounded by fog, the driving will be very difficult. You can't see what is coming in front of you. So here the fog is a subject, and after the subject you can see the relative pronoun which. Relative pronoun, and whenever which is coming, that is a non-essential clause. A clause is nothing but you will be having a subject as well as verb in the clause. Is it clear? And this whenever which comes, it is a non-essential clause. Without this non-essential clause, I can complete the sentence. Let me read that. The fog made it hard to drive. Correct? So I'm going to add this which as a relative pronoun. The fog, which was quite dense, made it hard to drive. So I'm just giving an extra information about the fog, which was quite dense. Fog is always dense, no? So which was quite dense. This is an extra information. In this case, you can use relative pronoun which. So coming to that, the bike that has a flat tire is mine. So I am talking about my bike, flat tire. The bike is the noun. Bike that has a flat tire is mine. And one more information is you cannot use punctuation marks when you can use that. So I repeat, which will come for non-essential clause in the sentence, and that will come for essential clause in the sentence, and which will be denoted in commas, that cannot be denoted in commas. Which and that are relative pronouns used in different versions. These are the differences between which and that. Thank you.